Hey there, Bills Mafia! Before we dive into today's breaking news, let's talk about our Buffalo Bills. This team is constantly working to improve, to get better, to take that next step toward bringing a Lombardi trophy to Buffalo. That's why every move in the offseason is crucial. And today we're talking about a position that needs serious attention, edge rusher. But before we get started, do me a favor. If you love the Bills and want to stay up to date with the latest news, rumors, and analysis, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out and makes sure you never miss an update. Now, let's get into it. Look, let's be honest. The Buffalo Bills defense was not dominant in 2024. Sure, they had their moments, but overall, this unit was far from the elite defenses we've seen in the past. They finished number 17 in total defense, smack dab in the middle of the league. That's just not good enough if you're trying to win a Super Bowl. And when you look at how they performed against top-tier offenses, the concern grows even larger. The Bills handled mediocre teams just fine. But against teams like the Ravens, Rams, Lions, and of course the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, the defense simply did not hold up. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs exposed a major weakness: Buffalo's inability to generate consistent pressure off the edge. Let's face it, if you want to stop quarterbacks like Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, or Joe Burrow, you need a relentless pass rush. The Philadelphia Eagles showed that blueprint in the Super Bowl when they contained Mahomes with a fierce defensive front. That's what the Bills are missing, and they need to fix it ASAP. So what's the solution? Well, the obvious move would be to go after one of the big-name pass rushers on the market. Some of the biggest names being thrown around in free agency and trade talks include Myles Garrett, Cleveland Browns; Max Crosby, Las Vegas Raiders; Khalil Mack, Los Angeles Chargers; Josh Sweat, Philadelphia Eagles. These guys are absolute game changers, but there's one huge problem. The Bills are not in a great salary cap situation. According to Spotrac, Buffalo would have to make serious sacrifices to land one of these stars. Myles Garrett, for example, carries a massive cap hit, and even though adding him would immediately make the Bills a Super Bowl favorite, the team would have to gut other parts of the roster to afford him. That's why the smarter move might be to find a cost-effective option who can still make a significant impact. Enter Dante Fowler Jr. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, wait, Dante Fowler Jr.? He's not on the same level as a Myles Garrett or Max Crosby. And while that might be true, let's break this down. At 30 years old, Fowler is still playing at a very high level. He appeared in all 17 games for the Washington Commanders this past season and put up some impressive numbers. 10.5 sacks, 20 quarterback pressures. Consistent production in big games. Fowler has a relentless motor and can provide the type of edge pressure that Buffalo desperately needs. But here's the best part. His estimated market price is just $5.2 million per year. Compare that to Khalil Mack's massive $23.6 million contract, and you start to see why this could be the steal of the offseason. General Manager Brandon Beane is going to explore all options. Sure, trading for a Garrett or Crosby would electrify Bills Mafia, but if we're talking about smart strategic moves, Dante Fowler Jr. is the perfect value signing. While we're talking about improvements for next season, let's take a moment to appreciate what we already have. The reigning NFL MVP, Josh Allen. Allen had arguably the best season of his career in 2024, leading the Bills to a 13-4 record and another AFC East title. His numbers weren't as eye-popping as in previous years, but he was far more efficient under offensive coordinator Joe Brady, 63. 6% completion rate, 3,131 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, 531 rushing yards, 12 rushing touchdowns. Allen was in total command of the offense, cut down on turnovers, and proved that he is one of the most dangerous dual-threat quarterbacks in NFL history. But even with all of that, Allen was not ranked as the #1 quarterback in some analyst rankings. NFL.com's Nick Shook ranked Allen number 2, citing his struggles against Kansas City in the playoffs as the reason for not giving him the top spot. Look, let's be real. The Chiefs have been the one roadblock keeping Buffalo from reaching the Super Bowl. And until the Bills finally beat Mahomes in the postseason, analysts will always find a reason to rank him below the likes of Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. But here's the thing. If Buffalo fixes the defense and gets a consistent pass rush, they'll have a much better chance of winning those playoff battles. That's why this offseason is so crucial. James Cook has been one of the most electric playmakers in Buffalo's offense over the past 2 seasons. The guy has been a touchdown machine, finishing the 2024 season as the AFC's leading scorer with 18 touchdowns. That's elite production. But now, entering the final year of his rookie contract in 2025, Cook wants to cash in. Reports suggest he's eyeing a $15 million per year deal, and that number has sparked a huge debate in the NFL world. Some people say absolutely pay the man. Others, they aren't so sure. And let's be honest, running backs don't always get paid like they used to. The NFL has changed. Teams are hesitant to hand out big contracts to running backs because we've seen so many of them decline quickly. Just look at Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, and even Dalvin Cook, James's own brother, who got his bag but didn't live up to the contract. So the big question is, should the Bills commit to James Cook long-term? NFL salary cap expert says Buffalo can make it. Work, here's where things get interesting. Salary cap expert Michael Janitta of Spotrac crunched the numbers and says Buffalo can't afford to pay Cook without breaking the bank. He laid out a 3-year, $45 million contract extension with $22.3 million guaranteed that would actually be team-friendly for the next 2 seasons. Here's how it would break down. 2025, Cook plays on the final year of his rookie contract, counting just $3.45 million against the cap. On 2026, his cap hit jumps to $5.65 million, which is still very reasonable. No. 27, here's where things get tricky. His cap hit would skyrocket to $17.75 million. Now, here's the key part. If the Bills cut him after 2026, they'd still have to eat $14 million in dead cap space in 2027. So while this contract structure would make things manageable in the short term, Buffalo would be taking a significant financial risk if Cook's production drops. How does Cook's contract compare to other star running backs? Let's look at their market. One of the biggest running back deals in recent history was Saquon Barkley's contract with the Eagles, a 3-year, $37.75 million deal with $26 million guaranteed. Now, Barkley was the NFL rushing champion and a huge reason why Philadelphia won the Super Bowl. So if he's making under $40 million total, can James Cook really argue that he deserves more? That's a tough sell. Cook has been great, back-to-back. 1,000-yard seasons, a huge part of the offense, but he's not a 2,000-yard rusher like Barkley. And while he's dynamic, he only played 48% of Buffalo's offensive snaps in 2024. That raises another question. Is Cook a true every down back? While he's elite as a runner, he's struggled in pass protection and has had issues with drops in the receiving game. That's something the Bills have to consider before handing him a massive contract. All right, Bills Mafia, now it's your turn. We covered a lot today. Buffalo's need for an edge rusher, why Dante Fowler Jr. might be the best fit, and Josh Allen's MVP season. But I want to hear from you. Do you think the Bills should go all in for a superstar pass rusher like Myles Garrett? Or do you think a value signing like Dante Fowler Jr. is the smarter move? What are your expectations for Josh Allen in 2025? Can he win back-to-back MVPs? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get this conversation going. And before you go, don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest. Bills news. We've got a huge offseason ahead and we'll be breaking it all down for you right here. That's all for now, Bills Mafia. Go Bills!